Rose City, the after show, the podcast, where we dive into the world of the popular novel Rose City by author Karina Q. In each episode, we will be discussing a different aspect of the book, from the complex characters to the intricate plot twists and everything in between. Check out Rose City on mystylebykarina.com to stay up to date as we explore unique perspectives and insights on the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up and hit the notification bell. Also, leave some comments. And my cat might be in the way. Miss Princess, do you see her?
Not yet. Oh, there she is. Hey, Princess.
Like, ma'am, I've already had some issues this morning.
Miss, I love to fight my auntie.
So when you go over to mystylebykarina.com, you will notice that there is an area that says Rose City, the novel. My book will be available on my website. So don't worry, I got you covered, okay, baby? How are
you? Blessed and highly favored. That's the package we're getting this year in 2025.
Yeah, we have declined that chapter in that package plan. I love that when I saw that. I think it was like New Year's Day that you sent that this is going to be the blessed and favored year, and we are declining all that other garbage. Well, let me let you say it, because the way you said it was so cute, and I was like, yes.
Oh, hold on. I got you. I got my receipts. I'm a Virgo. We keep receipts. So I sent you that on New Year's. Girl, we talk so much back and forth. Like it'd be like, girl, I just sent you that yesterday. We gotta
go through 1,000 messages.
Because we love each other.
We love each other.
Okay, Happy New Year, sis. I'm believing we are signed up for the blessed and highly favored package instead of the trials and tribulations.
Period.
And the rest of it, but it was personal. So
that when you said, I believe you signed up for this package, like we definitely have been doing the work. So God, we're gonna need you to move.
And before somebody wants to be a hater and comment in, yes, I did see it on Instagram. And it touched my soul, so I decided to regurgitate that.
I give them a good read, and if they really want to talk smart, they'll get blocked. So.
Hey, let's read them first. You know you definitely about putting folk on blast, but I just know they'll be like, I've seen that on Instagram. Yes, you did.
Can I tell you a little tiny secret? Everything that you see, somebody already posted it. So there ain't nothing new under the sun, baby. So our icebreaker question today is directly relating to the chapter. There was something that Malia's sister had asked her when they were having, girls' night in, because this is girls' night in part 2, baby. Okay, get into it. So Veronica was kind of like, hey, how's things going with you and Chan? And Malia's like, oh yeah, everything's, it's great. And Veronica's like, so are you dating other people? And Malia's like, no, I'm just dating Chan. And she's like, well, is he dating other people? And Malia's like, hell no. You better not, right? And Veronica was kind of like, hey, Malia, you're nearing 30. You should really focus on having a roster. You should be dating multiple people at a time so that you're not putting your eggs in a basket. And of course, Mike's name always has to come up because I don't know what these people's problem or obsession with this man is, but they got one. So the question that we have for the icebreaker is, when dating, is it okay to have a roster until you are engaged to be married? That's a new thing I've recently been seeing online a lot. People are talking about you're single until you're married, or you're single until you're engaged to be married. And I'm like, wait a minute, because I can't see myself laying my body down doing the do. And then it's like, but I'm dating other people. I don't really want to do that, So what are your thoughts? Because I think we're a little bit old school too, I think in some of our.
We are we're millennials. We are not this generation alpha, whatever they're supposed to be nowadays. Y'all just some ratchets. I'm sorry, because in a way, my attitude is set up. We together. We go together bad, and I mean, that's how you get to the engagement and stuff. It's not like you get with somebody and then you're engaged and blah blah blah. You have to date. So, and if I'm dating you, no, that don't mean go sleep with whoever you want, and then oh well, you know what? I'll go ahead and settle for you. You seem to be the one I like the most. That's not gonna work in my book. I always say I'm everything or nothing.
Everything or nothing.
I'm not a side chick. I'm not, this kind of squeeze. I'm not, baby mama with benefits. None of that. I'm yours, all yours, and better be all yours.
All yours.
Me and Karina, we will pull up on you. We will pull up. And so, no, I personally don't believe in a roster. I have a teenage daughter. Karina's son is the same age. We got teenagers coming up, and I know she wouldn't allow none of that. And I'm not going to allow that for my daughter. My daughter is not going to come to me and be like, well, out of Isaac, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Hold on, what? How many of them you kiss? You better not be sleeping with nobody. Like, then Heidi Parker's going to come through. It's going to come out of me. So no, I don't believe in the roster or the team. Karina, I'll tell you later on exactly who this person is, but there was someone we both knew who believed in having a team. She would be dating somebody that we all knew about, but then she'll be talking about somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you were with so-and-so. And she'd be like, girl, I have a team. And she's older than both of us. So I guess it could be a generational thing. It really just depends. We both were raised up in the church. We're not saying that, that's whatever. It may have had something to do with it. It might have a little bit to do with it, because I know for me, I'm not going to speak for Karina, but I know for me personally, I intentionally, when I turned like 18 to 21, I rebelled against everything that I was ever taught. It was like, that's really gonna piss my mama off. So God forgave me. Okay, so I did repent.
I agree with you. The whole roster thing, I think for me, it's really a new type of concept that I've really never heard of before. And of course, like, I don't think everything goes back to us being raised in super religious families, but I also think it did have something to do with that as well. I think first off, being Black African-American people, and then coming from super religious families, and then like your mom's people came from the South too, and then my mom's people came from the South, and people, tend to be a little bit like more traditional, especially back then in those times. So idea of like dating and having a roster, that was something that my mom was not going for. If you liked one person, that was already controversial enough as it was. One person,
just that one.
Let alone you talk about you're dating 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 different men. My mother's head would explode. Now my brothers, they have dated multiple women, and my mom, praise God, sister, come on in here. And is your family Kojic, Pentecostal Church of God?
Girl.
Well, because you would not be giving me every time Dick and Harry and Jerry all that action. Like, I would literally be, I would be getting scrutinized. Karina, that's not okay. Even if I wasn't sleeping with these people, my mom was like, the look of it doesn't look good.
It don't look right.
All these different men. And what are people going to say about you? And so, yeah, I feel like we were raised under extreme scrutiny. So if somebody did see you out and you're like, you was with Tyrone last week and now you with Bishop this week, juice, baby. Okay, ain't nobody dealing with no bishops because he was
not the bishop.
The name just popped in. I don't even know nobody named Bishop, but the name popped in my head. That was controversial enough. Like, why are you talking to so many people and everybody's like, you fast, and you're talking about some, you lose. It was a whole thing. So I feel like dating has really, really changed. And I think that when you are of a certain age or you grew up a certain way, dating can become a lot more of a challenge because you don't realize, but until there's titles in place, people are dating. I don't feel like it's a problem to date, right?
No, that's my thing.
Yeah, if there's not a title
question, do you feel it's okay? Yeah.
But for me, if I'm dating, that's what I mean. It would definitely just be dating. There would be no physical interactions. I mean, damn near like, I don't know if I even want to hold your hand. Maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because we're just dating. We're going out. We're enjoying each other's company. There is no, come over to your house. Absolutely no, that would never happen because we don't have titles, we don't have labels, we're not exclusively seeing each other. There are benefits that come when you are exclusive in a relationship. When you're not exclusive, we're not even talking about sex. Like, please don't even. And some people, this is why you're never gonna have a man. Had one for almost nearly 20 years, baby. Like, anybody have one, not have one. Okay, giving up your body in order for something to be like, yo, I see myself long term. Well, what if the snatch ain't good? It's great. Like, Don't play yourself.
That's your problem.
Don't play yourself. It'll be just fine. But that's the lies that people tell, right? Well, I gotta see what it is. I don't want to commit to something. Well, then jump at it like you didn't do everything else. Then walk away, right? If you don't like what it is, right? So if you're dating 3 or 4 people and you're getting to know them and you're just going out, amusement parks, having a picnic, going to a concert, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, you're talking to multiple people because you're getting to know everybody. But what I'm talking about, like that more physical, you shouldn't be hopping from bed to bed.
Okay, so you feel like if you're not having sex, then
you're dating, right? Because
dating multiple people. See, like I don't consider that dating though. Like if they're okay, let's say there's 4 dudes that's interested in Alicia. Alicia, she probably is really like feeling like 1 or 2 of them, but all 4 are interesting or whatever. If I haven't like committed to one, like, hey, we're boyfriend, girlfriend, I would say, now I haven't done this, but I would say, okay, look, I'm not with nobody, I'm single, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of like, you getting to know anybody. But let's say I decide with guy number 2, okay, yeah, we're together. Even if we haven't had sex yet, we're together. You're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend. I don't feel like until we get engaged, it's okay for me to now play the field because we're not engaged.
I never understood that, because there are people who were like, they're in exclusive relationships and they're still dating. And I'm like, and they're like, you can do that until you get engaged or until you get married. And I'm like, well, this is this conversation I've been seeing online that people feel like you can be in an exclusive relationship, but if you're not on track to be married, you're still free to like date. And I was like, wow, the world has changed.
It really has. But we are also seeing an increase of violence against women. These guys are going crazy and killing people, or even women, killing the partners because they had a misunderstanding. In her head, we together, or in his head, we together. But then they see you, or they suspect. They don't even have to see you. They just suspect you with somebody else, and then they crash out. And we're seeing you on a T-shirt or on a Facebook post. Keep so and so's family in your prayers. So. I don't, old school is best in my opinion.
People aren't coming to the table and being honest. I know this lady, and she was saying that she was talking to this guy, and they went on like 2 or 3 dates, just dates, nothing sexual, just dating. And he was like, you're really cool. I really, really like you, but I do want to let you know that I am dating 2 other women. I do like them as well. I'm not sleeping with them, which, cool. Like as if he was going to say he's smashing everybody, right?
Right. I'm like, he ain't going to tell you that.
But he told her, I just want you to know that I don't want you to feel like I'm being deceitful. So until I'm exclusive with one person, then I'm going to continue to date until I become exclusive. I feel like as long as you're honest about what you're doing, if you're like, I'm dating other people, and you let that be known, like, yeah, I am dating other people, then people can choose to be like, that's good for me, or no, because you got a little too much. And the thing for me was like, too much option for me is very confusing. I don't want to be like 4 or 5 people. Lord Jesus, who I want to be with. It's a lot, right? So if you can handle that rodeo, I say more power to you. Have fun. Good luck with that. And I'm really big on energy and people's authenticity, and it comes through. Like I meet people and I'm like, this person is just not the vibe. You feel what I'm saying? And spending time with people and their spirit ain't right. I'm very big on people's spirits. I'm very big on picking up energy. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that kind of energy, right? And I don't know. I'm a stay-at-home person anyway. So, I don't have a big friend group, and nothing's wrong with having a big friend group. Hey, if God has blessed you to have some down ones, maybe ride with that. But I'm just a little different, and it's okay, So if roster is what you do, have fun with that. Be safe, don't try to act like you're exclusive with somebody while you have a roster out there at the waterfront, and it's going to be, hands, fist, and feet, and all that. So yeah, whatever you do, just be an adult. And I feel like we don't have a lot of people really standing on business, being like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not trying to get over on nobody. This is just what I'm doing.
Right. Be honest up front and give that other person the opportunity to decide if that's something they want to be involved in. I don't want to be out with Karina and be like, oh girl, there he is right there. And then, another chick would turn the corner holding his hand. I'm like, Both of them finna get jumped, but nobody said nothing to me.
You would jump him?
Huh?
You would jump him?
Oh, definitely.
You do?
If I feel we're exclusive, if I'm like, yo, Jason Momoa is my man, and then Jason Momoa come around the corner, we had to break up for a minute, and I had a crush on somebody else, but he ain't coming to mind right now, so we're gonna use Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa, let's just say he come around the corner, and then he got his girlfriend, you know, that turns the corner with him, like, but I don't see her at first for whatever. I see him, and I'm like, oh, that's him, you know, and then somebody else. I'm like, hold on, wait, whoa. Now he will get cussed out, but
yeah. So I guess if you're in a committed relationship,
right,
different, you know, like.
But if we just talk, please know that my phone, it won't work anymore. You will call me and you will find yourself blocked. We're not having a conversation.
Oh,
no. So if that's why I said it's very important to be honest. That's what you said earlier, to let them know, hey, you know what? This is how I do things, and you're on a roster, and you're on a roster. You're number 3 of 5. So, you know, there's a few ahead of you, but after I make my considerations or whatever, I will make my choice and let you know. Then I'm gonna keep it moving. I'll be like, oh, okay, now you got 4.
Yeah,
5. So. But at least I appreciate you being honest and giving me that opportunity.
Yeah. Now, if that's somebody who you're exclusive with and your boyfriend's out cheating and you see him, you pull a Rambo, then it's up, right? I don't have a problem with her because I don't know her. She's probably lost too. But if she starts getting rah in them streets and I'm about to.
Yeah, some of these whole, now if she don't know. And then that's when I'll just kind of look at her and be like, you stay out of this while I get on him. But if she's sitting there like, yeah, he told me that she was a bitch and sis, I got some for you too.
These hands and feet work both.
Surprise. Right. Like I wouldn't even want to swing on. I wasn't gonna do nothing to you.
You have nothing to do with it. This is not your relationship.
And you decide this is what I'm gonna pursue, then yeah, you could catch hands too. Or feet. Whatever.
Whatever needs to be gathered.
Whatever needs to be caught.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say, you know, they say drink responsibly. I say date responsibly.
I'm too goddamn fly, super characteristic. It's reality. Bankroll so vicious like halitosis. Bitches they striking, they posing them look like money.
And one thing I do know about people will lie and they'll have your name out there in the street. And there's one guy, my brother used to be like, dang, you know, he be getting all the ladies, and you know, he had all the baddies. He slept with everybody. And so of course, it's 20 years later and people are having conversations, and some of these women are like, I never went on a date with him. What are you talking about? And they're like, no. He said that you guys were dating. And it's like, no, I never dated him. He called me on the phone a couple of times and we talked, but no, we didn't date. And so many people will always have this, no, they're lying, they're embarrassed. People are grown. They don't need to be embarrassed. 20 years later, you're still embarrassed. No, it didn't happen. So my brother was like, dang, like bro was really out acting like he was claiming all kind of territory, you know, and he literally wasn't. You know, he would talk to a person 1 or 2 times, maybe even go out to eat with them, and then it didn't materialize into anything. But anytime one of the other guys in their friend group, like, oh, she's bomb, I want to talk to her, he's always like, actually, I already had her. So then what are your friends do? They're like, okay, well, you know, if you've already been with her and you're my friend like that, that's certain codes, right? Like, I'm not going to go after where you've been. So you just basically are trying to mark off territory. You out here redlining, you know, you out here creating
basically
and keeping folks back, like, no, because this whole section over here, that's reserved for me, you know. And it's like, you can't put up imaginary tape over people by trying to throw lies on their name and say that you've been with them and you haven't been with that person. That is crazy.
Right. I've been lied on. I don't know how.
Girl, it's such a problem.
3 times, and one of those times I actually got jumped because they were under the impression that I was dating this guy that I had no clue, or I just had no clue. I didn't know. They said his name, and I was like, "Who?" They're like, "You scary, you just blah blah blah." And then one on me, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go." And then in the end, we all sit in the office because that's what happened. This, of course, was high school. We sit in the office and they talking about boom, 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 boom. And then they brought the guy down who this allegedly, I was supposed to be dating or that I messed with or whatever. And he was like, he looked at her and he was like, oh, I was just joking. Like, I wasn't real. I don't know her like that. I said, you don't know me at all. Like, what are you talking about?
Not at all.
And so, yeah, that wasn't a pleasant experience. And another, we could go on all day. Karina's been lied on too.
A lot.
And we're never believed.
We just have to be honest and say that some men are not used to being turned down and they will lie. I'm learning women don't like to be turned down either. And they'll say that they've been with somebody who they haven't been with. People got to grow up. Mm-hmm. Have got to grow up. And I see it even in high school. My son's like, Mom, I don't even know who this girl is. She goes to a whole nother high school. Somebody showed his picture and she's like, oh, I smashed him. First off, I don't know what type of culture we got going on here because that was never a thing in our day and even still for me.
Would have to interrogate and torture us to get stuff like that out of us.
But some girls will see a guy who's really cute and they will automatically be like, oh yeah, I've already been with him. Why would you be claiming stuff that's like you've never, like, just weird? Like, no, honey, that ain't the flex you think it is. But people really like claiming that somebody attractive, oh, I've already been on that magic mountain, but you haven't. You haven't, so. And date responsibly, relationships in dating and courtship, it's very much an art form. And it's an art form that I really do feel that it's lacking. And it's almost like a lost art at this point. People don't know how to date successfully. Because dating successfully to me means also being honest and truthful about where you're at and what you're doing. I'm not saying you have to be reporting to me like, I got GPS tracking. I'm with Katrina. Karina, who the hell is she? But that's none of my business, right? But what I'm saying is that if you're dating multiple people, you're trying to get to know people, that's okay. Let that person know, because I'm gonna tell you, if I meet you and you okay, I'm married, so I don't have to worry about this. But God, like, if I ever had to, Lord Jesus, help me, because I wouldn't know. I would know what to do, but I don't think a lot of people would be able to get down with my style. You know what I mean? Because I'm a little old school with it. If you meet me and you're like, yeah, I'm talking to 4 or 5 different people, automatic. I appreciate the level of transparency and honesty. For me, I don't want to date a guy who's just, baby, he's working that room, baby. He all up on it.
I don't want to say like I would be like a sore loser or nothing, but I just don't feel like I should compete. I don't want to feel like I'm competing. You
know what it was? Do you remember back in the day when we were younger? Even if you were at the club, you didn't see a dude working the entire room.
Working the whole room. No.
Working the whole room now, right? Back in the day when people used to go out to the club, they would scan the room. And whoever they really, really wanted to talk to is who they address. Because if I saw you talking to 3 other chicks and you were getting shot down and you come to me, it was like I wasn't your first option. You know what I'm saying? I was down the line. Oh, I'll get to her if I can't have anybody.
And to up the toxicity, if I see you do talk to me and I'm like, hold that thought for a minute, and like I'll go get my drink or something, and then I see you having a conversation with somebody else, go that way. It would be one guy that's like, hey, you know what, blah, 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 let me buy you a drink. And then I'm dancing with it. Now I wouldn't go home with him. So that's, I was always called a tease because I wouldn't go home with dudes. The girls I was hanging with at the time, they would meet you that night and go home.
That's called a skeezer.
They were definitely for the streets. Okay. But me and one other girl, we were like, nah, we ain't on that energy. So whatever guy that was, we would, like, I know me personally, I would hang with the guy all night. We'd be dancing, we'd be drinking, laughing, whatever. And then when it's time to go, we'll exchange numbers and then, blah, blah, blah. As always, we just kind of hung for that night. And so, yeah.
No, nowadays, honey, every beautiful woman or attractive woman in the room, honey, he's raising everybody up, baby. So that's that about the whole roster thing. Move responsibly, be honest, no lying, no playing games. Just,
And my take on it is no, it's not okay. But
especially if you're talking about you're engaged and you're still dating, or you're supposed to be exclusive and you're still dating, that's called cheating, okay? So
yeah.
So just whatever you do, be responsible. Be responsible with your feelings, other people's feelings, with your body and other people's bodies, because real in these streets. Okay. You know, so people have to definitely be responsible. So that's that one. Yeah, that went down a whole different lane.
Rabbit hole, but that's okay. It's been a minute, so we need this.
Yeah, and we've been on break for a little bit, like, you know, so and so now finally this is our first episode of the year. Okay.
And it's still January.
So you guys will see this here soon. Maybe something like that around there.
And
you know, whatever. So on to Girls Night Part 2. It was like, she hit me up this morning, was like, I don't think we recorded part 1. I was like, we did, but it was a few months ago. Because like I said, life has been lifing and it's been busy and there's been one thing after another. So, you know.
With our parents, either her mother or my father.
Yeah. Life has been lifing. You know, everybody's super busy with work, family, kids. And so, but this is so important to us. And we enjoy getting together and doing this and being a little silly and having fun. So, yeah. What were your thoughts? We'll just do like a recap for, you know, what are your thoughts? And then we'll do another little recap. But what was it? What was it given?
It's been a little while, so I forgot. So I read part 1 and 2 just to make sure I was up on my P's and Q's. For part 2, my thoughts on it were, I think before I've given Chan the side eye before, and it's coming out again. The thing was, you know, because you're reading the chapter, you're hearing about her interacting with her girls and having a good time and blah, blah, blah. And then the very next line is, and then Chan stood up angry because, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. This nigga has been watching them. Like, I forgot all about the fact that they were like under surveillance, you know? So it's like, okay. And then he, when she start talking about, I believe, Antonio.
Yeah.
It was Antonio that pissed him off. Yeah. He got mad, you know, doing stuff and going crazy. And it's like, dude, you're not even there. You haven't talked to her about none of this. I mean, damn. He got the side eye for that. But I like that Malia was able to, you know, she may not have verbally sat down and be like, you know what, I did you wrong, sis, because this is the way I felt about you. But her just kind of, you know, she's like talking with her sister and stuff like that. And then she's like, you know what, my anger was misdirected. You know, and it wasn't like a verbal thing, but the dialogue in her head was like, this is my baby sister. Like she has no clue, or older sister, whatever. She has no clue that dad did this to me and blah, 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 blah. Like, so for her point of view, you know, I just disappeared out of her life for no reason, or, you know, backed up, not disappeared, but just kind of backed up. And she's probably thinking like, what did I do? And that was wrong. And so her kind of realizing that, and then, you know, kind of taking her sister in, kind of like, you know, yeah, this has never been your fault. Like, her sister didn't know that. Her sister was probably like, oh my God, you was being all nice. Girl, I missed you, you know? So I like that she came to that realization, because, you know, we don't always get that in life. People just be mad about certain things, and it has nothing to do with us, but it could be the way we're perceived or whatever. You know, people just be mad about it and then they hate you forever. And it's like, what did I do to you? You know, so I like that Malia was able to, you know, do her big girl thing and reflect and fix it, like, within her. She didn't even have to say nothing to her sister. So there was that. And then, of course, the graphic recollection of her time with Chan. I always enjoy those.
That's wild, bro.
Okay. And that's what we do. When you're with your girls. Now there's, you know, other folk you kick it with, but I mean, like, if you with your girls, like, if I was to ever come across some, Karina gonna know everything there is to know. I'd be like, girl, and this is the brand, and I couldn't believe when they hit the flow. Mine hit the flow too, and girl, like, we talk like that. We do when you with your girls.
Girls talk.
Yeah.
Nobody saying girls talk.
I don't care. I don't really be talking to them like that. No, she lying, unless she talking about a different group. No, we talk. So it was fun that she, you know, and nobody was like putting her down or side-eyeing her or nothing. Everybody was like, I know that's right, girl. Yeah. I mean,
it was happy for
the
her.
best. yeah, when you ain't gotta hide nothing from your girls, you don't have to, you could just talk. I don't care if it make you sound like you've been prostituting for 50 years. The fact that they'll be like, yeah, girl, I know that's right. Oh, I remember this one time. And they'd be like, okay, so we get this. We know. Okay, that does feel good. And y'all know it. So we're not gonna be somewhere. Y'all know it. So we're not gonna be in here pretending like
act like little nuns.
I should never. Oh. I'm like, yeah, okay.
You ain't get all them kids for nothing.
Telling okay, and got like 8 to 10 kids.
Somebody do something.
You ain't do that. You ain't do that being prudish. So, I bet you they'd be super.
Why do you said this ruffled? Don't lie to yourself.
And so, those are my main takeaways from the chapter. Things that I enjoyed and things that side-eyed a little bit. Mr. Kong. What about you?
It's funny because I was reading over it last night, and again, I wrote it, but you don't remember everything you wrote, right? So I refreshed myself. So I was reading. Wendy's there, Ari's there, which is Eva's sister. Eva's there, and then Malia's sister Veronica's there. So it's the 5 of them, and they're just having girls' night. They're listening to music. Malia's got food at the house. They're drinking wine. Somebody gets up and starts dancing. I think it might have been Wendy at one point. But people are just enjoying themselves, right? And so I think it was after Veronica had asked the question, like, does Malia have a roster? She should keep her options open, don't like settle on one situation. And then, they were just like, whatever. And then, Veronica said to Malia, I'm really shocked. I thought that you and Antonio would be together. Like, you guys are always so close. The thing is, you can be really close and have a male friend if, whatever, if that's a thing for you, right? Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be together. Probably the more I know about you, the more I'll be like, that will never happen. We'll never be in a relationship because I know you too well. Like the guys that I used to be friends with when I was like a teenager and stuff, like they were cool. We would, go to Jack in the Box and ride down to the waterfront in Tacoma because if you know, then you know, right? And we would just get in the car, we would roll, right? We just people who we kicked it with like that. But I knew like this is not somebody I would ever date because he's a homie, and so you knew what he was up to, and you saw what he was doing to the other people. I'm like, I'm not going to be on the slaughter list.
Right.
I'm not going to be the next cattle up to get butchered. Like you're not going to make hamburger meat out of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm smart enough. Oh, you don't know because you're different. And it's just something different about you. Ain't nothing different about me. I'm just like everybody else who you'll hammer, and throw away. And it's not going to happen, because I'm violent. You know what I'm saying? Like you get up. You might get hurt, and I don't want to hurt you. So
I don't want to hurt nobody.
I don't want to hurt you. So we're gonna leave that alone. So when Malia had said, it crossed her mind. I mean, Antonio's a good-looking guy, so of course you'd be like, we vibe. He's funny, chivalrous on some level, but that's a front because we saw what he did to Deja, and we saw how he used his money as a weapon and physical violence. So he's not who Malia thinks he is, but she don't know that. So she's like, I thought like I let it cross my mind at one point. She's like, but then Wendy had busted out and was like, no, but he's a super cheater. And I started dying. I was like, a super you are a mad cheater when you get called a super cheater.
A super cheater.
Like a super bug that just can't be stopped by antibiotics. So you are a super cheater. Like you. And so it's so funny because as Malia is just kind of talking about this with her girls in the living room, all of a sudden it's like Chan jumps up and he throws over his glass and thick shards of glass go flying everywhere. Like, what? There was no transition, it was just boom.
No, there was no, I had forgotten. I was like, maybe
I should have added a transition, like all of a sudden the room grew dark and he started to step away from the computer and his eyes got big. Like, but then it really might have been more sinister. Like, how crazy is he? What are you doing? So maybe that wasn't. Maybe it should have just been a shocking thing as opposed to like a dramatic buildup. Because I was like, he got mad. It was something, I'm gonna see him on Monday. Right. So
hold on. He ain't even working. Like, but I guess he knew about girls' night out. So he's like, I need to take this time out Saturday on my computer and watch this.
He said, I want to know what the juice is. He got really, really mad at Antonio. And he was like, that's cool. Because I'm about to run up on him. He was like, Monday, I'm gonna check him.
It's like, worry about Chris first. Get that under control.
I mean, I think it seems like anybody, it seems like anybody who has the possibility of like Malia has looked at, it's like they have to all be eliminated Do you know how insane that is? That's insanity.
Right. It's not like, oh, let's have a convo, nothing like that. It's like, you know what? You gotta go.
You know what?
You can't be around anymore.
Yeah, you are a nuisance. You're causing a public disturbance, and I got to take out over here. Okay, so yeah, that was crazy. It was funny too. Yeah, Malia and her sister both kind of had a heart to heart, and somebody had sent a question, and they were just like, Malia really should have just gave it to her more. I didn't feel like she needed to go all the way in because, like Alicia said, she's been upset with her. But it hasn't been because of something like Veronica didn't steal the money. She's the recipient of the funds. But I think like Malia has been so mad and irritated that she didn't want to let that bitterness like ruin her sister's moment, because it's hard for, you hear somebody talking about a $25,000 Valentino dress and you like, you didn't buy that?
That's my money.
So it's hard to hear about ice sculptures and doves and orchids and all these expensive things for this wedding. And you're just like, oh my God, I'm being sued,
Right.
Contract. So I think because she's like, I don't want to rain on her parade, I'm gonna back up a little bit off of her. But apparently, like, there were times, I guess, before that whole money thing, when she would ask her sister, like, let's go kick it, let's go hang, Brandon wants to see me. And she's like, okay, Veronica, and like, you just really, really, really boot up. And it's okay to be boot up, but it also is okay to like live your life without, feeling like you can't do anything outside of being in a relationship. You have to maintain some individuality. It's okay to have friends and be in a relationship. It's called balance. Anything else that stood out? Ari's new little friend. I was just
saying that, like, well, in my head.